need to set personal guardrails in your own heart. You need to have a different sort of parameter that you have internalized, because you live in a world that uses parameter primarily that at best are secondary in the heavens. In this world, the basis of ranking generally in our world is size. But in the world to come, the basis of ranking primarily is what? Is sort. S-O-R-T, not S-I-Z-E. So you would have gone through life a world where everybody's parameter, okay, everybody's scale is size. Size. Big man of God, huh? Big minister, big ministry, big work is size. But you are going to a world where assessment will be done on the basis of sort. That is something that nobody really talks about a lot in this world, generally speaking. And you need to realize that the thing that Paul talks about here, they are, for at least personally, they are quite fearful. All right? And it's fearful because he post-dates or he locates the critical aspect of this whole matter, which is evaluation. He dates it to the end. That's number one. And then number two, the means of that evaluation is fire. And then number three, which is tied to number two. Number three is because of number two. Number three is that the basis is quality, not volume, not quantity. When they are going to test every man's work, they will pass it through fire. Meanwhile, if you want to know how heavy something is, the way to check that out is not fire. You don't use fire to find out how big something is. You don't use fire to find out how heavy something is. You don't use fire to know the mass or the weight of a material. Right? You don't use fire for that. So when we talk about a big ministry, a big minister, a big whatever, a big man, what exactly are we referencing? What is a big ministry? Well, the controlling word is big. Hello? But do you realize that the test in the final analysis is not a test of size? That's not the issue. That the people that will get a reward are not people that have something big. Because it's not a size test. It's a sort test. Did you notice that? Yes, verse 13. And the fire shall try every man's work of what sort it is, not of what size it is. So you can imagine how terrible it is if you do not put personal guardrails in your own heart. Because you'll be living through a world where the parameters that are used in everyday normal speech are parameters that will not be recognized first and foremost. They will not firstly be recognized in heaven. And listen to me, and I'm choosing my words quite carefully. So when a man of God is messing around with people's daughters and sometimes even with people's wives, and then you now talk, they now say, but can you see all the things that God has done by him? Have you done half? What are they looking at? Size. What is God talking about? Sort. Huh? Somebody is doing Yahoo in God's name and defrauding people. After defrauding people, he will now bring stash of cash on a table, and then 250,000 naira for you, madam, because you are a widow. You, 100,000 naira. Hey, you are going for college of education. You take. This is your school fees. And then they put a camera to it. And we are clapping. We are rejoicing. Say, that big man of God has big money. So we live in a world where the parameters that are used are not primary as far as final evaluation is concerned. If you live in such a world, you know that in matters of the guardrails of your heart, it is, in Nigerian English, it is on your own. You will need to take personal care to ensure that you are not allowing the popular virus to infiltrate your own system of God. So you will need to erect personal guardrail. Personal guardrail. Personal guardrail. And by that I mean, you will set up parameters in your heart that are consistent with the primary parameters of His Majesty. While everybody is interested in size primarily, so that for a lot of people it does not matter how you blow. The important thing is for you to blow. Because out there, people seem to think that the end justifies the means. So the important thing is that he's now rich. Say, but he was a fraud. Say, if it's easy, you go and do fraud, let's see. Have you heard that kind of talk? Yes. Say, if it's easy, you go and do the fraud. And then if you even tell some people, they say, he's with Yahoo boys. That's where you people have energy. All the politicians that are eating us blue black, that are eating our money, nobody is talking. It's with Yahoo boys. That's where you people have energy. Don't worry. You people will be flatmate. Because even if the politicians escape the court of human justice, they cannot escape the court of divine justice. And God is not going to let you off the hook because the politicians were worse than you were. Every man, every man's work. And Jesus said in the last book of the scripture, He said, I come quickly and my reward is with me. I will give to every man. So saying that at least I'm better than some people, whatever that means, does not let you off the hook. Every man's work, every man's work. Every man's work. So if there's anything that the world is doing or saying that is capable of turning the dial of your heart away from the primary parameters of the world to come, keep yourselves by yourself in the love of God.